Hi, thank you for watching my first ever vlog. So, firstly, I have to admit that I've kind of tricked you into watching this. I hope you don't mind, but I want a few minutes to talk to you about something that's really important to me. We are planning a party on Saturday, the 15th of June, so please save the date for that one. Okay, meanwhile, I'm inviting you to a real treat. I am inviting you to join a rebellion. It sounds crazy, so let me explain a bit more. Firstly, there's the grim bit, which is about the climate. As smart and educated people, you will already be aware that a climate crisis is well underway. On our current path, we are going to make the world uninhabitable within a few hundred years. And that's not just for other species, but for humans too. What I hadn't really understood until recently is that the window for us to influence this is actually closing pretty quickly. While the fossil fuel lobbyists have for decades hijacked the media stories, the science is actually really clear. The IPCC, who you will have heard of, are a large political body, are inherently conservative and have consistently underestimated the warming that's happened so far. But even they are now issuing us with these dire warnings. To take it to a personal level, I find it deeply shocking that my 6-year-old Ellie, before she's old enough to vote, there's a significant chance it will already be too late to slam the brakes on climate change and get us out of trouble. This is for two main reasons. Firstly, there's a built-in time lag in the way that greenhouse gases warm the Earth. So even if we stopped CO2 and methane emissions tomorrow, the warming would continue for some time. Secondly, there are these powerful positive feedback loops that kick in as the temperature goes up. So, for example, having less ice to reflect the sun's heat back, and also methane being released as the soils warm up. And methane is a much more powerful warming agent than CO2. So there's a tipping point after which we actually can't stop further warming, even if we stop the emissions. The seas will continue to rise, the weather gets more extreme, the mass extinctions of insects and animals and so on accelerate, and more of the Earth will become literally uninhabitable. No one knows exactly what that tipping point is, but the fact that human extinction is on the table seems insane. In the past, I've had this vague feeling that somehow we'll be spared in the UK. We'll go and live with my dad up a mountain in Wales or something. It can even be tempting at times to think the UK could do with a bit of warming. But last year in Europe, the wheat harvest was down 9% due to the warm summer. So it's not hard to see how famine could come to us as well. So with all of that in mind, I think it's time to feel our feelings. And, let's be honest, it's very hard to know how to react to the idea that we are currently on track to destroy our beautiful home, the Earth, within a few generations, with all the other very bad shit that will clearly happen before that point. To us, to our kids, to our grandkids, to everyone else, to, whether humans or not humans. So, there are a number of reactions that we can have. Disbelief, denial, grief, sadness, rage, terror, despair. And I'm sure we will all go through some of these. And I know I have, and I do go through these. But right now, what I'm going to suggest is that in response to this overwhelming situation, we pull together, we support each other to start demanding urgent change. This is a life and death type emergency. Think World War II, only actually this time it's the whole world. So Extinction Rebellion is the idea that a huge movement of non-violent civil disobedience might just change the conversation. Throughout history, relatively small numbers of people demonstrating their strong beliefs through non-violent protest have changed things. Now, we know that the normal channels don't work. We've had 30 years more of NGOs signing petitions, marching. It hasn't done enough, and now we're running out of time. Carbon emissions are sky high and they're rising. The biggest corporations are still actively opposing decarbonisation of the economy. The UK government response is inadequate. Most MPs didn't even attend the recent debate on the climate crisis, which was the first in Parliament for 2 years. And it's just not good enough. So I think it's time to rebel. We need beautiful, passionate people like you to stand up and be counted. Go public with your fears. Demand better. Tell your friends. Talk to your neighbours. Join the movement. I don't know if it's going to work, but it does give me hope. I've found it very rewarding to work with a bunch of people in St Albans to set up a Extinction Rebellion group there, and seeing how quickly the school strikes and the student strikes have been taking off, it's been amazing. So as I say, I don't know if it's going to work, but it's probably the right thing to do either way. So come and join us in April. Alex and I and the girls and the grandparents are going to be there from the 15th of April onwards. Come and see what it's all about. It isn't about being impeccably green. None of us are, and the individual actions, even if we were all the switched on sort of people were to be like green saints, it still wouldn't help. We need big, high level change. I'm not saying individual actions aren't important, but it's not enough. So some of you, I'm sure, hearing this will feel overwhelmed. Some of you will disagree with my analysis of the situation. Some of you will be very worried. Many of you will have lots of questions. And I really recognise that this stuff is almost impossible to process. So I'm not going to judge you in any way for your reaction. You're my friends. Please reach out if you would like to talk about it. I'm here, and I'm happy to talk. But meanwhile, please consider yourselves invited formally to join the rebellion. Everybody's welcome, everybody's needed. Get involved in any way you can. And lots of love, and hope to see you all soon. Okay.